Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. You may or may not have heard this, but last night here in Skyblock they did actually release sort of like a dungeons teaser thing. It's here in the lobby. I actually haven't been to it yet, I just heard about it, so I'm seeing it for the first time with you guys here, but it should be over here, down here in the coal mines. Yeah, so first of all, there's this wall here. I assume you can get into that with Super Boom TNT. But then also down here we have this new area, the Catacombs Entrance. And so down here there's 3 NPCs. We have Malik, who I believe he's gonna give new reforges. He says once my delivery hammer's here, I'll let you use my services. Got an anvil and stuff. I believe that's what he'll be. And we got Ophelia. This is gonna be some kind of shop over here. And I believe this will be the entrance to like either like part of dungeons or just dungeons in general. Not totally sure. So yeah, this is kind of cool to see. It's just the teaser, like I said, though. This is not much yet. It's a new zone, but the main thing I want to talk about in this video is they also, Jay Varman came out with a forum post talking about Reforged Revamp. Now, before I get into talking this really quickly, if you guys are new to the channel, if you could drop a sub, it'd be greatly appreciated. I'm trying to hit YouTube rank. Now, I believe this is going to be somewhat in relation to Malik here, because I do believe he is a new, he's going to be offering new reforges. But yeah, so basically in this thread, Jay Varman talks about how he wants to make it so that reforges are more diverse, and there's more different builds you can do with them, as well as they want to remove some of the RNG aspect of it. They also want to make reforges a bigger buff for early game players and just make them overall more easy to get and cheaper. So before I read any more into this, he says that keep in mind that nothing here is final. But yeah, so what it says is their plan is to first of all nerf accessory reforges, which right off the bat there makes me a little bit salty, considering I do have almost every single talisman in the game. I'm missing like 2 talismans, I believe. I have a lot. I don't know, that's gonna be not great. I can't see why they're doing it, because the point of talismans I don't think was ever to, you know, spend 10 mil on a talisman just to up your damage a little bit. Like, I don't think that was ever what the point of these was supposed to be, so I can understand why they're doing it. I just find it a little bit annoying, being as I have so many of them. But if they're able to deliver on their goals with this update, I'll probably be fine with it, because it should overall be a healthy update for the game. Anyways, they're also buffing sword, bow, and armor reforges that supposedly going to compensate for this. They're also going to be adding a new rarity tier above legendary, so we'll have to see what that's going to be. I have no idea what that'll be, but that's for the purpose of reforges. Also, the universal reforges, I believe that includes like godly and some others, are now only going to be applicable to talismans. So that means you're not going to be able to get godly on your armor anymore. You will be able, like, it will stay on your armor if you already have it. And so if you're going to want to have godly, I would recommend getting it now before it's too late. But there's likely going to be other reforges after this update comes out that are going to be better than godly and armor. So yeah, I wouldn't really, I mean, you can get it just in case, but you're probably going to end up wanting to change it anyway. And now the only accessory reforges, this kind of goes with that nerfing thing. The only one that includes crit chance is unpleasant. And yeah, I looked through, like, they do have tables that show all the reforges for every talisman, at least all the ones that are currently in the game. Or every talisman, also the weapons and armor and such. But yeah, legendary, it's only going to give 2% crit chance on for legendary talismans, and the new rarity will have 3%. They did say that they were greatly nerfing it. However, the sword, bow, and armory forges, the crit chance on those is greatly getting a buff as well, so again, that's supposed to kind of make up for it. Hopefully it will. We'll see. Also, the critical chance that you gain from going up a combat level is going to only 0.5% instead of a full percent. But the base crit chance is going from 25% to 30%. Now, that's not a change I'm too pleased with either, considering that in the current state it would only take 5 combat levels to actually make up for that 5%. So next up, they did release that new Reforged anvil. We can only assume that's going to be Malik. I mean, that's what makes the most sense. And so he's supposed to have new reforges, I believe. I believe he'll come with new reforges that are different from the other blacksmith, the ones he gives. But there's also going to be new other kinds of reforges that involve, well, I'll get into it in a little bit. Yeah, I'll just get to that in a second. There's also going to be new reforges with passives, and they're also just going to be stronger. And so their goal is to create new interesting builds make it a lot easier to swap Reforge builds. They're also fixing attack speed, so that's kind of been a stat that I don't think anyone's ever really worried about, like, at all. But yeah, supposedly they're gonna actually fix it, and so that may greatly affect the builds that people are gonna want to go for, because that sounds like it's gonna be a pretty actually important stat now. So yeah, it's probably gonna affect the meta quite a bit, because maybe some people they'll take the hit and they'll do less damage, but they will be able to attack faster, and that might make things better. Or there might be people who just try to max out their damage on single hits. They also said that they're going to be making reforging a lot cheaper for the first few days of the update so players can try new builds. So that sounds like it's going to be prime time for reforging. They also said there's going to be new accessory bag upgrades. I don't know if that means there's going to be more talismans, or maybe that just means that they're going to make it so that you don't really have to spill any talismans over into your inventory. Then they just continue to say how they want to make it, the Reforges diverse, and how they don't want everyone running the same thing as people currently do. They also did say that veterans should expect a damage nerf at first, but it should be, you should be able to make up for it if you just put in a little bit of work. I assume that just has to do with all the talismans being nerfed. And then yeah, they just keep on saying how they want to make more different builds workable and actually, viable. They do tease some of the ones that will be coming out. Again, I'll get to that in just a second here. But definitely looking at the armor, bow, and sword reforges, you can definitely tell that they have been pretty heavily buffed. So I think it's quite possible that they might make up for the talismans being nerfed, but again, we'll see. And then they start talking more about the new reforges. So that new anvil should have new reforges. That's my understanding of it, the Malik guy. But there's also going to be reforges that are going to be less RNG based. Basically, mining is going to become a useful skill because it's going to be required to apply these new reforges to your items. So basically what they're saying here is to think of some of these new reforges as stones, and they could be you could get them from things such as crafting or mining, drops from mobs or bosses or different events, things like that. There could also be other things that you could get them from. And then basically you can apply these, and what it will require is just a certain mining level and then a certain amount of money. Now they did tease 3 of these below, and these ones all have to do with dragons, but like I said, there should be, they shouldn't all have to do with dragons. I'm pretty sure they will have to do with other things. Although the fact that these ones are related to dragons may make dragons more done again. They are still done a decent amount, but they're really not profitable. It's probably going to bring the price of eyes up a little bit, but it may also make dragons more profitable if people are searching for these reforges. People might buy them for a decent amount off the auction house. Might help you make a little bit of money. I have no idea what the drop chance of these are going to be though. Anyways, the first one is the dragon scale, which is dropped from unstable, wise, protector, strong, young, and old dragons. And that, if I'm not mistaken, that seems to be every dragon besides superior. And this will give you the ability to put the spiked reforge on your armor. And it costs 300,000 coins to apply it, required mining level of 20. The next one is the Dragon Claw. That's the next drop, and it allows you to apply the Fabled Reforge on swords. This costs 1,000,000 coins, and it requires mining level 22. It also has a passive ability that gives you a chance to do 120% damage instead of 100%, so basically an extra 20%. The next one is the Dragon Horn, which this one is only dropped from superior dragons, but it allows you to put the Renowned Forge on armor. This also costs 1,000,000 coins, and it has a required mining level of 25. It does have a passive ability, which basically increases all your stats by 1%. So this is similar to the passive on superior. Now I don't know if this is per piece or maybe you can only put it on one piece. Yeah, I don't know if it's per piece, then that's an extra 4% potentially. So that almost doubles the superior bonus if you were to put it on superior armor. As far as the actual stats for all these reforges, they are on the forum post, but I will say that both Fabled and Renowned look like they're going to be really good reforges. Fabled gets a lot of crit damage and strength, plus that pass ability seems pretty good. And Renowned also gives buffs in a lot of areas, but it does give you a good amount of crit chance and crit power as well as strength, and the passive on it does also seem really good. So yeah, past that, they just reiterate that they want to remove RNG from having to reforge. They also talk about how the new build options, they want people to be able to switch easily. The blacksmiths will give you the option to reforge a bunch of accessories at the same time, and if you do that, you do get a discounted price. So I do think that's also a pretty cool feature. And then that there is pretty much the end of the forum post there. As far as my thoughts on this, I'm not 100% sure. I do think it's, well, I do think it'll be overall good for the game. I am just, like I said before, slightly salty about Talisman Reforges getting nerfed. Hopefully the other stuff should make up for it, though. It does seem like it will. And like I said, it should be overall a healthy update for the game. I think a lot of people are going to like it. So yeah, I think overall it'll be good. So yeah, I can only assume that this update will be coming out within the next couple of days. Otherwise, I don't think they would have put this out yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, but it probably will be soon. In the meantime, though, I do recommend grinding that mining level up. Mine is currently, I believe, level, where is it? Level 21. Yeah, my mining is only level 21 currently, so gonna want to get that up to at least 25 because that's the highest level for these reforges, those new reforges that you can apply with stones that I've seen yet. But yeah, so I do believe that's gonna be pretty much it for this video. Interesting update. I think it'll be pretty good, like I said, but you guys can let me know what you think down in the comments for sure. I would be interested in hearing your opinions. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, remember sub, try to hit that YouTube rank soon. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.
I don't believe in destiny, I just do what's best for me. Don't listen to my enemies, they're just full of jealousy. Yeah, this legacy, you gon' see what's left of me. You gon' see success in me, you ain't seen the rest of me. I just wanna be the best at what I know, better than the rest, just watch me grow. Put me to the test and watch me go. This is my